Hello, everyone. Impromptu broadcast tonight, but sometimes, we do arts and entertainment on here, and we love to support young artists. Well, this guy might not be so young,
Young.
but he's still an artist. I want to welcome an old friend of mine, someone who I do not realize I've done so much business with until I start thinking about it. Duke Raulston of Tennessee Macabre. Welcome to
Thank you. Thank you, Randall. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Interesting thing is we share a lot of friends in common that I grew up with that and I find out that this person. I'm like, wow. So yeah,
it was one of the first things we ever done, and I don't think we talk about it enough. We bought Sequatchie County football back to the valley. It was
yes,
on the air.
yes,
We got it back on the air. We did
absolutely,
a couple projects. I'm your pseudo sports editor at another project you do,
exactly,
and
exactly.
we've always just shared a passion for making. I call it independent content.
Yes, yes.
we we share a love of making something. We don't have any corporate sponsors. We have a few local guys that sponsor us, but dude, we are really free to create what we want to create.
We are very free, yes, and that is a lovely thing. I mean, it's hard, the more money that gets involved in something, the harder it is to speak the truth sometimes.
Absolutely, and you can see a scroll below, and we're going to get into this, and it's about to debut in a few hours.
Yes.
But first, we've got to establish. Here's where I came to Tennessee Macabre. Several
Hmm.
years ago, you and one of your cohorts at that time was on WEPG, a radio
Right.
station. And
Right.
somehow you were making video content that was audio. Um,
Yes.
and you were releasing movies via websites and different,
Yes.
different venues. Please explain to us what Tennessee Macabre is.
Okay. Well, let me just start at the starting place. I grew up watching a local show on Channel 9 called Shock Theater. Dr. Shock and Dingbat every Saturday night at 11. I loved it. Might have warped me. I think it contributed to the man I am, but some folks might say it warped me.
I'll go
And
with a little warped.
a little warped. Okay, I can buy a little warped. I love that. Of course, I enjoyed Elvira when it came on. Joe Bob Briggs. I love classic horror movies, and I love hosting packages. And it was something that I wanted to do all my life. Well, that stuff kind of died away.
Mhm.
Elvira was in the 80s. Joe Bob had his show in the early 90s. This stuff kind of died away by 2000, I thought. When I started looking into it, there were a lot of horror hosts who were on the internet and
Almost
cable
underground.
access.
Almost
Hmm?
underground.
Yeah, almost underground. And so I started looking at ways to recreate this. And 20, 30 years ago, we couldn't have done what we do because now, 20 or 30 years ago, you wanted to edit videotape, you put it on a machine and you cut it and you spliced it together. Now I can shoot video all day long, load it into my computer and edit it seamlessly on the computer. So what would have taken a whole studio to do 20 years ago, I can do on my laptop.
Absolutely. And like we put this interview together in 2 minutes, and technology's
Yes.
come far enough. We're sitting face to face with a 1080 video quality now, just out of the blue. We've probably worked on this 15 minutes today.
Yeah, 15 minutes. 30 years ago, we would have had to have gone down to one of the big TV stations in Chattanooga to get an interview. And you'd have to have a crew there to run camera and, the whole 9 yards. Now we can do it on our cell phones.
Yeah.
So the technology was there. and the delivery system was there. And of course, I'm kind of an old fashioned guy. My first thought was to get it on the television. And we did that through WPG for 7 years.
Yeah.
We aired it every Saturday night on local TV, and it was also simulcast over FM radio. So you could listen to it on the River 104.9,
Yeah. And
and
first
you
place
could
I heard it was
yeah,
on the
yeah,
river.
it was on the river.
No video, just the audio.
Just the audio, which is kind of cool because not all, but a lot of the movies that we host were designed to either be viewed in a movie theater or listened to as a radio show.
Yes.
So some of them it worked really well. However, I came to discover that there were a lot of outlets on the internet that we could put the show on, Other Worlds TV, Tingler Television, and we've done all of that. What we're doing tonight is we're really pushing our YouTube channel. And I'm going to come to that in a moment. But let me just go a little deeper on what we do for people that may not know Shock Theater, didn't grow up watching that. We take classic public domain horror movies and we host them. My character is the Grim Reaper. Hope Holloway plays Ravinia, a witch. Her husband plays Dead John. It's just what it sounds like, folks. He's dead. And then Blake Ray plays Professor Gilman.
Blake Ray, who accomplished musician,
Yes.
accomplished actor.
Yes.
And Blake have done some stuff that we were creating classic radio. So Blake,
Yeah.
be talented.
Yes. Really talented guy. He does classic. He acts. He sings. He plays guitar. He writes. He is an incredible writer, and he directs. I've seen some stuff that he directed on another project that's incredible. So just an all around great guy. And of course, Hope has been acting for 20 years all over the Southeast. An incredible actress. So we got a lot of cool folks. And what we do is we host it with a skit. And we introduce the movie. We tell you what's going on in the movie, why it's important, and that kind of stuff. Now that brings us to tonight. One of the things that I loved, I can remember looking forward to Saturday nights because of the television programming that was on. In the 70s, of course, you always had Hee Haw, and you always had the Carol Burnett Show. Both skit comedies that incorporated music.
Both legendary.
Both legendary. Then you had great comedy shows like Bob Newhart Show, Mary Tyler Moore. I think the Archie Bunker Show for a while was on Saturday nights. So you had a lot of really great movies, great TV shows that aired on Saturday nights. And you watched all that, and then you watched the local news. And then there was Star Trek. There was a Star Trek episode, and then there was Shock Theater. So what I wanted to do was to start working on a way to recreate that Saturday night feel. And so the first step of this process, which is what we're going to air tonight, is going to be a skit show with music. We've got several skits that we worked on at Tennessee Macabre, and we've got Ginky Ginky Panic. Ginky Ginky Panic plays horror surf rock. It sounds a lot like the Ventures, if you're familiar with the Ventures. That's a lot of what they do.
Classically, that music fits the genre and the feel of what y'all do.
Exactly. One of the things, the show was started by myself, Neil Privet, and Tracy Raulston, TJ. And one of the things that Neil and I wanted to have in the show was classic rock and roll, surf rock, as that sort of thing. And that's what we've always done. We've always fit the music, music that fits what we're doing. Yeah. And Ginky Ginky Panic fits us like a glove. And we know those guys. They're local. Uh, Found out when we started talking to them that one of the guys actually, I don't know whether he grew up in South Pittsburgh or lived here, but he actually worked in the opera house where we're rehearsing, where we're recording this show right now, for 4 or 5 years. So they were very excited. They signed on to the project. So we're running some of their music and our skits. And then we're going to have an episode of Tennessee Macabre featuring Fury of the Wolfman, which is a Spanish horror movie starring, not Lon Chaney, Paul Nachi. Paul Nachi's often billed as the Spanish Lon Chaney. So it's going to be, I think we got some pretty funny skits, got some great music, and we've got a great movie. We just want everybody to tune in.
Duke, what would you say? Let me put this a different way. I don't,
Mhm.
but I'll watch Tennessee Macabre all day.
Yeah.
It is your standard 2024 slasher movie that you're speaking of. It is almost a culturally. I always feel like I'm at 1957 in a drive-in theater.
That's what we're going for.
While it's still scary, not a lot of blood and guts. I mean,
Right.
parents don't have to be afraid of their kids watching this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, it is not, that's the kind of show that we go for. Um, a lot of the public domain films were produced specifically for the drive-in circuit. This movie we're airing tonight, Fury of the Wolfman, and I don't know who translated it into English, but it was translated into English and it made the drive-in circuit. So that's where a lot of our films come from. We do a lot of Spanish horror, a lot of Mexican horror, a lot of Italian horror, and these films were brought over in the 50s and 60s. When you had drive-ins in at least every county in the United States, and you had people filling those drive-ins every Friday and Saturday night, they had to come up with a heck of a lot of content to satisfy those folks. So they were bringing in movies from Mexico, movies from Spain, movies from Italy, as well as there were groups of people that were out here. Two of our favorite movies, The Killer Shrews and The Giant Gila Monster, those two films were shot specifically for the drive-in circuit. They were not shot for movie theaters. So, and a lot of those films are public domain, and we can grab them. And we do. Sometimes they grab back.
So, Duke, not. So we're heading to the reason for this, but I'm going to say this, folks, not Duke.
Mhm.
I have a public, I have RiverCity-Media. I am a member of the Duke Raulston family through
Yep.
some other projects. We do this a lot of times out of our own pockets and out of our own.
Yes.
Many times RiverCity-Media has run into an expense, and folks, it can be as simple as, we need business quality internet,
Yep.
and that's $100 a month versus $29.99. And Duke, we don't make a lot of money, but what
No,
we come up with tonight is an interesting take on this, and you're going to give folks a lot of bang for a little money.
that's right. A lot of content, a lot of folks. We've been working on this really for 2 months. So, you have a lot of people that put a lot of time into writing. Blake and I wrote the scripts that you're going to see this evening, and that's a lot of time and a lot of heartache. And I'll sit here and write something and call Blake, and I'll run it past Blake, and Blake, oh yeah, well, we can do that. Maybe we ought not, and we'll back and forth on it. Then um, we spent 2 weekends shooting everything, and that's a lot of work if you've never shot a film before, and you think it's, oh, this is going to be easy. I tell you, I've worked in rock quarries, I've worked in kitchens, and some of the tiredest nights of my life come after shooting for 9 or 10 hours.
Absolutely.
It will wear you out. And then we have to edit. There's a lot of time spent on editing and a lot of time spent on promoting and getting the word out. So the 2 hours and 10 minutes that you're going to watch tonight
Hmm.
represents a heck of a lot of work from a lot of people.
You know, um, and we're in different genres, but we are. I have 5 guys that work with me on River City Media. That's not a lot for
Right.
content. Um, and one day I was out and a lady said, "Well, why are you raising money for River City Media? You've got this, you've got Davis Kessler Davis and this and this." Duke, for every minute we put on the air, I think
Hmm.
we spend 5 minutes preparing to put that on the
At
air.
least, yes.
So,
I
a
believe it.
lot of work goes into this that people never
Yeah,
see.
that's right.
So, what you have set up is and to be frank, if you're a River City Media follower, probably a content way we're going to go at some point. You're going to give people a, a opportunity to see entertainment that not everybody gets to see if they are a member of your
Right.
Patreon.
That's right. So if you sign up for our Patreon at the $10 level, uh, that means you're going to be signed up for a quarterly collection of short stories and articles called Appalachian Book of the Dead. We're going to discuss some of the movies we do. We're going to discuss some of the music we play. We're going to have some horror short stories by myself and Blake and whoever wants to write. So you're going to get that quarterly. You're also going to get some independent content that are not independent. You're going to get some additional content. One of the things that I did this week is I sent out some of the blooper reels
Hmm.
from the shows that we shot. That's always fun, you know.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to do. We're also looking at ways. One of the things we're looking at, I can host tonight's show, Fury of the Wolfman. Next month's show is going to be Last Man on Earth, starring Vincent Price. There are movies that I can run. Okay. There are some movies that I can't touch and will never be able to touch because of copyright.
Yeah.
But we're looking for ways, and some of these movies are insanely popular. Frankenstein, for instance, Dracula, to name some of the earlier ones. I was sitting here thinking about that before we got on here. Pretty soon, those movies will be a century old. So we got those. We got things like, if you want to get more current, The Lost Boys, which is a movie that I love.
Yeah.
But how do we bring that content to our audience? And we're looking for ways to do that. It may be a watch party where we go to one of the Roku stations and we get on and we watch it, and you can turn it on and watch it too. We'll tell you when to start the movie, and we just talk about it as it's airing. So that may be some content that you can look forward to in the future.
Duke, that would be awesome. That's something we're going to do here at River City Media. Bonnie, we
Yeah,
have talked about that. We're going
yeah,
to WrestleMania that way this year. If you're
yeah.
pay per view and you're watching it, we're going to offer you a chance to watch it with us via the same method you are right now, and
That's going to be fun.
that will be fun. And I don't mean I'm certainly not into the finances of Tennessee Macabre or River City Media, but these initial Patreon followers
Hmm.
has a opportunity to really impact the future of Tennessee Macabre because
Absolutely.
a
Absolutely.
couple getting on board now makes
Yeah.
it possible for you to do things you haven't been able to.
Exactly, exactly. One of the things that I have spent, I said that I've always done things. I'm kind of an old fashioned guy. I do things in an old fashioned way. The model that I had always worked with was that I would go out and sell advertising. For instance, Tennessee Termite,
Yeah,
one of our longtime sponsors, which is great. I love Tennessee Termite. I'm going to sell them advertising as long as they want to advertise with us. Um, but I think it's a much better model and a much better. There are things that we can do with that time, because you've tried to sell advertising, RiverCity-Media, and for different. We've both worked on advertising for Marion County Messenger and for the Sequatchie County football game. It takes a tremendous amount of time and energy. I would much rather have my dedicated fans chip in some money to help us keep things going and give them something in return.
yes. And that's the part we haven't even talked about. You get an ownership stake in a
That's right.
what happens, and if you really want something to happen bad enough, let me tell you, this was not Duke speaking; it's Randall Cunningham. If you want to show on River City Media bad enough that you're willing to financially commit to it, we'll get you anything you want. And I'm not saying that we'll sell ourselves, but sometimes we think you have great ideals. We just don't have the resources to pull it off.
I'll sell myself, Randall. I mean, you've never seen me pole dance, but you put enough money out there, I will.
Well, folks, 310 pounds, I think I can get more. Than, uh, but dude, that is a big part of it to me.
Yeah,
Um, Again, and I think this is if TV's a dying art.
yeah,
I've got Dish Network and I've got it here in my home. I've had it for 10 years. It's getting
yep.
out in a couple of weeks. You know why? Because my entertainment comes on the phone, YouTube.
Hmm.
People say, "What are you going to do football season?" Well, I hook up to YouTube TV, YouTube TV for three
Yep,
months. Then I'll unhook it. You know,
yeah.
the amount of entertainment that's available now through YouTube stuff like that. It's remarkable, Duke.
It is incredible, and you look at what folks are doing. Um, for instance, you take some of the Roku channels, and you watch these Roku channels. I watch the Universal channel sometimes, and it is Universal Horror, and they'll have slots where they just have a placeholder because they're trying to sell advertising and they can't fill those slots. Now that's Universal. If they can't fill the advertising, you know what I mean? So it's not a model that works well anymore. Now, here's the thing with Patreon, and I think this is what you were just hitting on. You sign on to Tennessee Macabre's Patreon. That is not just about sending us some money, and it's not just about you getting um, a quarterly magazine and some special content. It's a way of communicating between the fans and between Tennessee Macabre.
Yes, and it's not like we fortunately do have the numbers to what our stations do, our programming do,
Yeah,
our content. And folks, if we were raising $1 per average viewer, Duke and I would be doing this full time and not worrying about other jobs,
absolutely.
and we would have an office downtown creating a studio that would bring other people in to do this.
That's
It's
right.
it's a major commitment we're looking for. It's the people who are already watching our programming instead of me having to take 10 minutes of your time to watch an ad for a law firm. I'm just going to give you the entertainment.
Yep. Yep. And see, one of the things that I'm going to throw out there is I would love to make, and this is Tennessee Macabre's tent meeting and psychotronic film revival. And I would love to make that an every Saturday night thing.
Yes.
Not only that, I have a science fiction series that I have conceived and have talked about, and we've done some storyboarding with that I would love to get off the ground, and I would love to get a horror soap opera like Dark Shadows off the ground, both of which are possible. We've got to have the money to do it.
Yes.
So, it's one of those things. If we get if we get people that become patrons and are willing to support us, those are things that we can make happen.
Duke, that is and again, this is kind of a seismic shift for us here
Mhm.
at City Media, but we're following your direction. And what we'd like to do is do sports watch alongs and some stuff
Mhm.
that's developed. You just kind of presented it to us the other day for the first time. Now, we're going to create something like that. But Duke, what hit me when we talked was
Mhm.
I went and looked at one station I follow, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say their name, but it is a Tennessee ball football related.
Mhm.
They have 26,000 followers.
Mhm.
They charge a mint of 99 cents. I'm a
Mhm.
follower, and then you extrapolate that math out. If you get enough followers, this guy's doing it full time now. Something happens, he's on my phone immediately. Like, click in. The news story's breaking, but that's because he's got the financial wherewithal to
That's
make it
right.
a full time job. Same with you. If you had more time to do this, more content would come out.
That's exactly right. If we had more time and more money, we would be doing a 4 or 5 hour show every Saturday night.
So tune in tonight. We're
Yes.
asking for a penny to watch tonight.
Nope.
There's going to be a link, and we're scrolling it below. And this
Hmm.
will be up all week. We want you to talk. Let me get this link up. I don't think I got the right one up. This one here,
Hmm.
Tennessee Macabre Patreon.
Yes.
Facebook.com/ Tennessee Macabre.
Tennessee McCall.
And you're a $10 member, and it's a recurring once a month.
Yes.
You're going to start receiving the benefits instantly.
Yes. And you stop and think about it. $10 is less than you spend on a meal.
Absolutely. We spent, me and my daughter just went and had a burger at Buffalo Wild Wings, and we spent 4 times of that having soft drinks, burgers,
Yep.
and potato fries. So
Absolutely.
it's not a whole lot. Um, Also, before you get off here, Duke, and
Yeah.
everyone, Duke and I have talked about coming back when I can have him as in makeup, in character, with some of the others, Professor Gillum, Ravina, who, by the way, when I met and started being around her and working with
Yeah.
her, I didn't know the difference between Hope, the character, and Ravina because they're so close to the same person.
Yep.
So, Duke, I here at River City Media have always got room for someone to get involved.
Yeah.
You've let me get involved with several things at Tennessee Macabre. I have no acting experience. I've kind of learned by going to Tennessee Macabre, doing voiceovers and stuff.
Yeah.
Tell people how to get an opportunity to work on something with you or me or anybody, or start their own channel. Give them some advice.
So, okay. So if you want to work on something with me, I mean, you just send me a video of what you can do and you tell me what you want to do. You
Yeah,
know, I will jump off. If you got talent and you want to act, I'll jump all over it. If you want to write, I'll jump all over that too. So you let me know, you send me the information. I'm sure that Randall is the same way. if you think you can talk about sports, if you got what it takes and you know sports, um, I mean, I know football, but after we leave football, I can talk a little bit about boxing. But if it's baseball or basketball, I'm a lost ball and high weeds, baby.
Yeah.
But if you got what it takes, send Randall a video and let him know. Now, if you got an idea and you want to put something out there, what you need to do is get yourself. A lot of this you can do with the cell phone, but if you're talking about the kind of thing that we do on Tennessee Macabre, you can get you like a Nikon Coolpix camera, an HD camera, it shoots HD video, um, for a whopping $200.
Mm.
And let me tell you, it's one of the best purchases I've ever made. And you set up, get you a tripod and some lighting, and you start filming. Now, I edit everything on CapCut. You can get a free version of CapCut, but for a very minimal price, you get all the bells and whistles. And if you're going to do a lot of editing, you need that. And then you start yourself a YouTube channel, and you're in business.
Yes. Yes. And for us at River City Media, it's Facebook. And I
Yeah,
don't think Facebook is so good to River City Media. But I mean, Facebook is a quarter million visitors
yeah,
in days, you know.
yeah.
I don't,
And that's something you got to do too. I mean, I'm on every social media platform I can stand.
and my YouTube has made no grounds while
Mhm.
YouTube has become your main area project, you know. I think
Yeah,
I think one of them I've got exactly 20,000 I mean, I've got 1/20th of the members on that I have on the other one. And I
yeah,
can't, so it's a little bit about what you get hot on and what
yeah,
people. So, so we're going to come back when we got some time to sit down and we're going to
yes.
spend some time with the characters.
Come
But
down in character.
in character, you know what? And I will say this for Tennessee Macabre. I've done 3 projects, voice acting, which I've come to enjoy. And
Yeah,
my room and practice voices now. That it is one of the most fun things I have ever done. It
yes,
put a smile on your face, and dude, for me, it's putting a character on my face. It's opposite of who I am.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's not who I am. I
Hey, and we want to get you down in some of these skits if you want, if you're interested in trying it, Randall.
anything you got for me, dude.
Okay, we'll
I,
get you down here.
and I encourage folks to just get outside of your area, get outside of who you are, and try. I'm not a horror fan, but I have come one through
Yeah.
Macabre.
One of the things that I would like to tell folks is I originally got into this because I had a stroke and I needed to do something other than my job. Okay. And that's what led to this. It was a minor stroke, wasn't a huge stroke, but it's a minor stroke, but enough to jerk my chain and get my attention. And if you're interested in acting, performing, any of the arts, don't worry about the financial benefits.
Yeah,
If you never make a dime at it and it makes you happy and it makes other people happy, if you have 3 people that watch your YouTube channel or that stream your videos on Facebook and those people love what you do and you like doing it, you do it.
yes, sir.
It's worth it.
Yes, sir. The arts and my passion, and I'll jump over to River City Media for a minute, is
Hmm.
I'm able to see someone that's 17 years old get a scholarship to college, maybe
Yeah.
work with them, dude, there's nothing like it for me. When I
Yeah.
when I come over and work with you, and I get this alter ego kind of who I am, it's
Hmm.
exercising something that I enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Duke. I won't keep you much longer because you got the big debut tonight. But let's talk about the Patreon one last time and how folks
Yeah.
can get there.
Yes. Okay, folks. Go to patreon.com/Tennessee Macabre. Sign up to be one of our patrons. And what you're going to get is a quarterly e-zine where you have articles, horror short stories, articles about horror movies, articles about some of the bands and the musicians that we bring in. You're also going to get special content that right now consists of additional clips like uh, gag reels and stuff that the public doesn't ever see, but that we see. But we're looking at some additional content to throw out to you as well. So go ahead and sign up. Not only that you'll have a direct line to Tennessee Macabre, and we'll have a direct line to you. So go sign up and make sure you tune in tonight. We want to get as many people on the YouTube channel and as many people in that chat tonight as we can get.
And you can find it on YouTube. If you don't care, I'm going to post a link on RiverCity-Media
Please.
that
Yeah.
sends right there from my website.
Yeah.
My personal, if you're a personal friend of mine, it'll be up on my personal Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Duke, we really need to support this tonight because folks don't realize if you want original programming, this is how you're going to get it.
That's right. That's right. This is the way to get it. And folks, if you are any doubt, just go to YouTube and hit at Tennessee Macabre 8865. That will take you to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And you can find tonight's video there.
And someone asked me the kind of humor.
Yeah.
I have a 13-year-old humor button. And some reason, this finds it every single time. It just works.
That's high praise.
Well, I feel like it's almost got a Mel Brooks feel to it at some point.
It does. And Mel Brooks is a huge influence on my writing and my sense of what's comedic.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
dude,
love Mel Brooks.
we didn't have this planned. I texted you yesterday and said,
Yeah.
let's jump on for a half hour and just promote it. So,
I appreciate you letting me do it.
well, to folks, listen, if you're a River City person seeing this, give it a shot. I'm telling you, I will give you my honest opinion. When Duke and I started working together, and he told me about Tennessee Macabre, I went, "Oh, good Lord, that's all I need is another hacker cut up movie, hour feature." Within,
Yeah.
I was texting him going, "Hey, I missed last night's episode." Where, because in the early days, it wasn't so easy to find,
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
and I've never been scared, nothing on it. I wouldn't let my 13-year-old daughter watch. It's a lot of fun. So
We got time for a funny story.
go ahead, yeah.
Okay. In the early days, we like I said, we showed that we had the show on at the local radio station, which meant I had to go down there at 10 o'clock every Saturday night. And this radio station is down next to the Tennessee River, absolutely deserted at night. There's nobody within 3 blocks.
No, it's in the middle of nowhere.
It's in the middle of nowhere. So I'd go down and put the show on at 10 o'clock. I'd come back to the house and watch it. And then about 5 minutes before time for it to go off, I'd jump in the car and run down and take it off. So we had this little show called Curse of the Doll People, Mexican movie. We're going to air it again here soon. And it's kind of a voodoo show. And this voodoo priest sends dolls home with the children of families that he's trying to get revenge on. And the dolls come alive. And they got these things that look like giant hat pins, and they go stab people in the heart. I watched that movie. I had to go down to the station. And that's the only movie we've ever done that freaked me out. But it freaked me out. And I had to go down that station by myself at midnight and pull it off the air.
That's funny. Hey, when you're on here to your own horror, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's it.
Hey, and sometimes if you like some of these horror films, you have some of the old school Mexican wrestling films every now
Yeah,
and then you get a
yeah,
hold of.
yeah. We do. We love El Santo, and we run his films quite often. We're going to run some more of them. Um, but each one of those films has at least three wrestling matches.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like going and seeing Andre the Giant in his prime, but he's
Yes,
so.
exactly.
Well, Duke, if we can help you out, if we can help you make original content, maybe we can get on here one month and interview a couple of your cast members and make it private content for folks to see.
I'd
Um,
love it.
More than
That's
welcome.
right.
I cannot express it enough. This is my partner. This is my brother. This is my friend. If you
Thank you.
don't, please do it.
Yep. Please watch tonight and please get on Patreon.
For Randall Cunningham, for Duke Raulston, next time you'll see him as Grim, and I guarantee you will laugh your off. City Arts and Entertainment. Good night. God
Good
bless.
night.
Tonight, 9 o'clock, YouTube.
That's right.